Hello, this is our second question of process costing with abnormal loss and abnormal gain. The contents are given similar like last question with revised figures. Basic material with unit cost rupees 20, then direct material, wages, expenses, and overheads. All this information is given similar like last questions. Normal loss 5%, 10%, and again 10% with scrap value is given. And most important, output units are given. As I mentioned in last question, when output units are given, there is possibility of abnormal loss or abnormal gain in either of processes. So here output is given, so there must be some abnormal loss or abnormal gain adjustment. So let us start with this question. Uh, in front of you, the question is already solved. We will just discuss how the amount should be posted in respective process accounts. So we have to transfer all these values in process J column. In process J, initially the quantity is 10,000 as it is mentioned. Then amount is 2 lakh at rate rupees 20. It is given here 10,000 at 20. After basic material, direct material, then direct wages, direct expenses, and overheads. All these amounts should be transferred here, just like our previous process accounts. Then normal loss is 5%. Normal loss 5% of input. Here input is 10,000. And on 10,000, we need to calculate 5% as quantity of normal loss. It comes to 500. And scrap value given in the equation is rupees 4. So here, if we consider scrap value rupees 4, our normal loss amount comes to rupees 2,000, right? So after we post this normal loss, next amount remaining is output. Output units are 9,700. Once we post 9,700 here, all the information given in process J column is transferred. Now only closing is remaining. So while closing this account, our process is first of all, we have to close our quantity column. And in quantity column, if we get balancing figure on debit or credit side, we consider it as abnormal loss or abnormal gain. Now let us see. As per the amount shown here, normal loss is 500 and output transfer is 9,700. So this shows that total of process account is 10,200. Now let us see this. If this 200 is not shown here, when you take total of this account quantity column, on credit side it is 10,200 and on debit side it is 1000. So directly you can see there is difference of 200. So this 200 should be shown on debit side, and on debit side its name is abnormal gain. Now here you can see direct calculation due to formula, but you have to calculate it manually. First of all, calculate quantity of abnormal gain or loss. In this case, abnormal gain is 200 as it is shown here. Quantity is 10,200 total on credit side, and on debit side balancing figure comes to 200. Now next is calculation of cost per unit for transfer of output as well as for abnormal gain. Now for this calculation, formula is given. Cost of output is equal to total cost minus scrap value and total input units minus normal loss units. So this way, total cost minus scrap value I shown here. Total cost comes to 4,20,000. This total cost is total of debit side all items. Debit side starting from rupees 2 lakh up to 2 lakh up to 34,000. All these amounts should be considered here for calculation of total cost minus scrap value is 2,000. So if we take total, it comes to 4,21,000 is amount of total cost less scrap value 2,000. So net amount is 4,19,000, and upon input units are 10,000. As you can see in process 1, input units are 10,000 and normal loss units are 500. So if we deduct 10,000 minus 500 equal to 9,500 is expected output. So here you can see in working note, 4,19,000 is total cost after deducting scrap value, and 9,500 is expected output. 4,19,000 divided by 9,500 gives 44.105. So 4,19,000 divided by 9,500 gives us 44.105. You can confirm from your manual calculation. 44.105. It is cost per unit for abnormal gain as well as for transfer. 44.11. It is rounded up to next digit. So you may find some difference while taking total of amount column from debit side and credit side. Here it is 1 rupee difference, but it's acceptable. So this is about calculation of cost per unit for abnormal gain. Now let us move to process number 2. All these figures should be transferred to debit side of process M account, and then next step is same, transfer all these values from process M, 1,40,000, 80,000, 66, and 54. All these values should be transferred from the question. Then calculate normal loss. Normal loss here it is given as 10%. So 10% normal loss on opening quantity. It comes to 9,700. Let me erase this. You may get distracted. So again, coming to this, normal loss is 10% of input in process M. Here input is 9,700 and on credit side, 10% comes to 970. The rate of scrap value, normal loss, it is 6. And amount 970 into 6 comes to 5820. It is scrap value total collected. After normal loss calculation, the next value is output. Output of process M, it's 8500. So write output as transferred to next process 8500. Here name is by mistake it's C and here it is B. So kindly adjust. Let me change this. No, it's fine. I'll change it afterwards before sharing PDF with you. So in process C, transfer of 8500 units is given. Now last step in calculation is calculation of cost per unit for output transfer as well as for abnormal loss. Formula is same. First of all, take total of debit side, cost column minus scrap value. It is mentioned in our working note also. Total of debit side, all these values total comes to 7,67,000. Okay, 7,67,821 less scrap value is 5,820. It is deducted, so we will get 7,62,001. 7,62,001 is net amount spent divided by debit input units minus credit scrap units. So 9,700 minus 970. Working note is shown here, 9,700 minus 970. It comes to 8,730. So divide 7,62,001 by 8,730. We will get answer as 87.28. It is shown here as working note. So use 87.28. It is rounded up to 29 because 285 is our answer. So rounded up to 87.29. Again here 87.29. After you multiply both these figures with our CPU, you will get transfer value as well as abnormal loss value. And once you take the total, you will get final amount of process M. So this is about process 2 account, process M. And last step is third process account. I will just explain within 1 minute because we need to follow same step. All the output values of second process are transferred to debit side. Okay, next. As per the question, you have to write each and everything here regarding cost of direct material, direct wages, direct expenses, overheads, everything. The normal loss given here again is 10%. You can confirm from the question. Normal loss given is 10% with scrap value 9 and output is 8,000 units. So it is shown here. Normal loss is 10% of 8,500. So normal loss comes to 850 units. Okay. So 8,500 into 10%, it comes to 850 units. Cost per unit is 9. Amount comes to 7,650. And output is 8,000 units as per given in the question. Now our last part is, first of all, calculate abnormal loss or gain using the total of quantity column. Now again, if this amount is not written here first, you will get total as 8,850 on credit side. Normal loss is 850 and transfer is 8,000. You will get 8,850 and on debit side the total is 8,500. So you will get balancing figure on debit side which is 350 as abnormal gain. And once you get abnormal gain or loss on debit or credit side, last step is calculation of CPU cost per unit for transfer as well as cost per unit of abnormal loss or gain. So following the same steps, formula is also same. Total cost minus scrap value upon total input units minus normal loss units. The amount is shown here in process K. Debit side total including all these amounts, it comes to 10,75,925. Scrap value is 7,650. On credit side amount column 7,650 scrap value divided by total input units are 8,500 and less normal loss units are 850. So 8,500 minus 850, you will get second figure as 7,650 as expected output. And once you divide amount divided by output, you will get 139.64. So 10,68,275 divided by 7,650. Your working out will be in this form. In column form, I am using this only because of Excel. Otherwise, your working out will be in this form. 10,68,275 divided by 7,650 comes to 139.64. It is posted here 139.64 on both sides. And then you have to multiply it and take total of process K account. Okay, so this way, abnormal loss and abnormal gain, first of all, close quantity column. And once you get the quantity of abnormal loss or gain, then calculate cost per unit for output as well as gain or loss. Thank you.